Hey guys, what I'd like to do today is show you all of this whole recording environment. And rather than bounce around the room, I'm going to try and attempt to show you this whole recording setup sitting right here, just by jumping around the different cameras that I've got. Now, if you subscribe to my channel, you will be aware that I've not published a lot of content over the last 6 months or so. And there's no great mystery as to why that happened. I've just not had a lot of time. I've had a lot of work on my own websites, freelance work as well. And YouTube is not something that you can do if you don't have a lot of time. Certainly not something you can do well. And at the end of the day, I was burnt out. I just wanted to play some games, watch Netflix, etc. But I'm really excited about getting back to it, getting back into the swing of things and doing reviews, etc. But when I come back, I decided to change some things up, and I changed the recording setup. So previously, I was using this PC, I was using these monitors, but the desk was kind of behind the scenes here. It was further up here, and you faced the wall. But what I've done is tried to work around the limitations of this room by pushing the desk into the wall here. Now, if I jump to this webcam, you can see, you can kind of get an idea as to what this room is like. So this is behind the scenes. This is, as I said, this is a work in progress. That's why there's tripods and boxes everywhere. And if I jump to this one, you can see what's at the wall there. You can see the door, you can see the wall, etc. Now, one of the most annoying things about this room is that it's smaller than the recording room that I had before. In my older house, the room was a little bit wider and it was a little bit longer. I don't know the exact, square meters, square footage, but I suspect that this room is about maybe 60% of the size of the previous room. But the room also has some limitations. You've got the window there, as you can see from the blinds, but I've got the door there. And then at the back, as you may have noticed, I have cupboards, wardrobes, which is useful because I've got some clothes in that one, and in the other one I've got games, I've got accessories and different things. But that does mean that I can't really push this desk over there and start recording from there. And it really does limit what I can do with this room. And there's only a few different locations that I could put the camera and put the desk. And in the previous setup, the whole recording setup was kind of focused on not showing you all of that, not showing you the door, not showing you those wardrobes. But what that meant was I was taking up more of the room. So with this recording setup, I've pushed everything to the wall, and hopefully that means that I'll have more room in the room. And you can see that behind me there. I've got my old gaming monitor behind me there, and I've got my Xbox Series X hooked up to that. And the idea is that I can get a seat, a chair, a couch or something. I'm going to put it there, and I'll have somewhere to kind of sit and relax, and I can edit videos, I can do what I want. Just gives me a little bit more flexibility with the room. So if you saw my video a few days ago, you may have noticed that the glass was on this PC, and it's not there now. If you look behind me, you will see the glass panel for this PC is back there right now. Now, it was in the video the other day. Maybe I'll add it back, but one of the things I quickly noticed in that video was how reflective the glass panel is. It shows you the camera, it shows you the monitor, and that wasn't ideal. Now, the other thing that I did notice was that my overhead camera was extremely shaky. And the overhead camera is really important to my videos because I like to show you what I'm working on. I like to show you what's going on. And this is it here. And normally when I've got the overhead camera, I put the lights on using the Stream Deck, which you see over here. I can just switch the lights on more, and then I can turn them down again. But the overhead camera was incredibly shaky. Now, it was shaky because the overhead panel here, the poles that I've got set up for the overhead camera and the overhead mic, which you can see here, these were attached to the desk. Now right now I've got one attached to the desk, but because the PC is here, it kind of weighs it down. But the other one is now on this pole, and it's on a tripod to the ground. And that has made it really, really stable. And if you want to know what I'm using there, well, this is it. This is what I'm using to keep the other end of that down. This is just a light stand, effectively, if I get it in the shot. There you go, get it in the shot. And yeah, this is what I've got to hold that up. Like that, if it pops up here, will it? No, it's not going to. I'm doing the wrong one. I'm using the wrong one. There you go. So this extends all the way up. And that's what I've got the other end of the pole on. And on that rig, I've got the overhead camera, I've got the overhead mic. But as you saw from this webcam, if I switch back, you can see I've also got the main camera here. And this is not the final setup. I might change it, I'll probably change it, but even getting to this point, I tried a lot of different setups. I've got a ton of poles, I've got all these kind of things as well. You can see the tripods in the background as before. This is one of those 3-piece arms from Manfrotto. I've used this before for the main camera as well. And I've tried lots of different variations. And the one that I've got, you know, this kind of position that I've got now, and just to show you again, this is the position that I'm talking about. The camera here, kind of facing this direction. This is not ideal in many ways. It's not ideal. And the reason being, you kind of see, you know, a lot of that side of the wall that I'm not really looking to show. You can see the blinds. But from a recording point of view, when I change to my overhead camera, for example, my natural position is to look here. So it would make more sense to show you the webcam, which is here. And I can, you know, adjust the webcam as I need. But the problem with doing that is that now you're seeing all the wall. Now you're seeing all the crap in the background stuff. I really don't want to show you, to be honest. And yes, I could kind of address that by using a green screen, which I've got over there at the other side of the room. So I could pop up a green screen, but it's not ideal. You know, it's more kind of messing about with different things. And that's one of the limitations of this setup, because right now I'm facing the camera, I'm speaking to you guys, but when I'm going here, I'm facing this way. And it's the same when I'm, you know, looking at the browser as well. I need to kind of turn to the camera, whereas before I faced the camera. So that's one of the main downsides of this current setup. But I do still have everything set up so that I can switch between different things. So this is what I call my main camera. I've got my overhead camera here. I can switch to the browser. I can also switch to a window. So right now that window is Explorer, showing you all my drives, but you know, I can change it to anything else. And I can also change to my monitor, which is really squashed right now. So this is squashed because I've got an ultra wide, so it's 3440 by 1440p, but I can crop that so that it shows you it correctly. I've also got a setup which is called gaming. Now, as you can see here, this is not actually gaming. This is my laptop, but if I had to play a game, you know, I could hook this HDMI cable, which is coming from the capture card in my main PC. I could hook this HDMI cable to my Xbox Series X or to the PlayStation 4 or whatever, and I could play games. But right now I've got it hooked up to the Razer Blade 14, which I got a couple of days ago. And yeah, I can switch to gaming as well. And as I've showed you a few times already, I can switch to this webcam and I can switch to that webcam. Now, as far as all these cameras and that go, I've had this set up for a couple of years now at this point, and for me, it's optimal. This is optimal for the types of videos that I do, tutorials, product reviews, different things like that, because it allows me to, you know, quickly jump to the overhead camera. I can show you what I'm working on, quickly jump back, quickly jump over to the website, etc. And all of this is powered through this PC. And this PC, whoops, I have just dropped the Wi-Fi aerial, which will stick back on. All of this is kind of messy just now from a cabling point of view, so I do need to tidy that up a little bit. Cabling is something that I am quite lazy about, if I'm honest. But all of this is going through this PC, and you know, it's got an AMD Ryzen 5950X, it's got a 1390, as you can see. And yeah, it does the job. Now, there's a little bit of noise coming here from the fans, but I've got the fans set down at low. You know, this CPU and this GPU handle recording absolutely no issues. And you know, if you look at it here, you can see it's all going through OBS. I'm recording through OBS rather than a camera, and there's a little bit of noise here from the fans, but I've got filters from this mic here, this overhead microphone here. I've got filters there, so that if there is any kind of fan noise or anything like that, OBS will take that noise away automatically. Now, for certain videos, I do still have my SM7B here, which I can turn it on for a second, and I'm speaking through my SM7B now. This is me chatting through my SM7B. It's a different microphone. But, you know, I can switch between those, but I usually just reserve that one just for overhead, videos, tutorials, etc. when I'm using the overhead camera. Now, the downside to this microphone here is that it's really directional. It's fantastic when I'm there, but if I, you know, kind of get out of the way, it's not great. You really do need to kind of stay under where it's positioned. But like I was saying, I do have everything going through OBS, and for me, it remains the most practical way to record. I think it's the most practical way. And, you know, a lot of people, what they will do is just record directly to the camera itself. They'll record the audio on the computer, they'll record their audio through an audio device, you know, an audio interface or something, and then they'll record directly to the camera. But I find it so much easier just to record through the computer, because I can take additional takes, I can quickly add things in, record additional clips, and I don't have to continually go back, you know, go back and forth trying to fix things and try to re-record and take files out. I find that very annoying. You know, sometimes I've got my little Sony camera over there, and sometimes I'll do a video, and I don't like coming in, you know, constantly taking the SD card out the camera, constantly going back, syncing the audio file. One of the biggest things that I've always tried to focus on over the last couple of years with this kind of setup is just streamline everything. In many ways, although I'm not streaming as much as other people, I can stream. I will stream a game. I do enjoy the live streams I do for you guys. But this whole setup is kind of based on the, you know, the simplicity of a live stream where everything is automated. There's no running around. You sit here, you do all your videos, and from here, I can change the overhead camera to the browser, to a window, to the monitor, to a laptop, or to a gaming system, to a webcam, to another webcam. Everything is set up here so that it's all done, you know, it's all the recording is done through OBS, which means that there's less editing for me later. And it, you know, it just works for me to be able to switch between cameras as well. It feels more like a live recording environment, even when I'm publishing the content later. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I really do appreciate the fact that I have been jumping around from topic to topic throughout this video, just to keep, you know, kind of give you an idea as to what's going on. But, you know, just by even just showing you these webcams, you should get an idea as to what equipment that I'm using. You know, I've got two Elgato HD60S Pluses for my overhead camera, and for my Sony camera, I've got the Elgato 4K60 Pro, I think it's called, Mark II, and there in the PC for gaming, and then I've got the webcams. But like I said, this whole thing, you know, you can see the mess in the background. This whole recording setup is to not show you that mess, but also to just simplify the whole process of creating content, creating reviews, creating tutorials, and just connecting with the people that share my love for technology and gaming and, you know, whatever else I'm covering. So thanks for watching, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed this kind of look behind the scenes as to what I'm doing here. If you're a YouTuber yourself, you'll probably be familiar with a lot of the, you know, the tools that I'm using here to get things done. And, you know, there's a couple of things I've not showed you. You can kind of see some of these in the background. This is a headphone amp that goes into my Zoom F8 audio interface. It just kind of enhances the audio for me when I'm listening back to audio. And I've got the Stream Deck here. You know, I showed you that earlier. And the Stream Deck just simplifies switching between lights and different things. I don't always use it, but it's useful for that. And yeah, I think that will do me. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. I will be doing more videos about the Razer Blade 14 that I've just got, and I do have other products to review as well. But thanks again. It's been a long time since I've spoke to you all. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care.